Welcome back to another episode of Indie Film Screenings. I'm Jerome Lee Brown, your host, and once again we have plenty of show to show for you today from all the filmmakers who sent their stuff out to us. Sitting beside me here is Mr. Who?
I am Stefan J. Davis. It's a pleasure to be here side by side with the great Jerome Brown here, the legend, living legend Jerome Brown.
Of his own mind. Thank you once again for the kind words, which is very unusual for you. So you probably got something up your sleeve. You're gonna hit me back with something, I'm sure, before the show's over. But I thank you once again. So, what wonderful footage have we have in store for the viewers out there?
Well, we dig up something nice and special here.
This is your film too, I believe. This is not your film.
Yeah, not my actual film.
This is your film.
I wish I could take credit for this one, but I can't, though. Of course, this film is Nightcrawler. A lot of you might have seen this. Some people I talked to, they haven't seen it, though. It's one of those hidden gems. Yeah. It's an independent movie, but it's on a larger scale. I think they spent about $8.5 million to produce this particular movie. But as we say here, indie film screenings, we'll screen the film, we'll review the film, whether it's 25-cent budget, as we said, or millions of dollars budget. If it's an independent film, we will talk about it and review it. So this particular film, Nightcrawler, I mean, I have to say, it was an excellent piece there. Some cinematic genius took place there, with especially with Jake, the main character in the film. His acting was on point, I would say.
He was a little bit of an odd individual.
He was.
A strange individual. If you have not seen the film, it is a high budget, but on a low budget film level. Hollywood probably, that's how much they spent for catering, $8 million. But this film was an independent film, I think you said.
It was,
with a budget of $8 million and some change, which was pretty substantial for an independent film. But once again, they did a wonderful job on it, and there's a lot of things in here that even caught my attention when it came to $8 million budget on the film.
Yeah, that's not my usual budget when I make films.
It's way over my budget.
I would like it to be, but it's not, though. And yeah, but there were so many things that were great in this movie. So I know the opening scene, he sees a security guard, talks to him real smooth and nonchalant at first. And that's one thing about that character. He's really intelligent, smart, really had a way with words, really. He was really articulate. But, he finessed the guy out his watch, beat him down real good, took his watch.
Finessed him or beat him down? That's two different words. Oh, okay.
Well, first he finessed him, then he beat him up.
Took his nice watch from him.
Yeah, it was a nice little piece there. And then next thing you see him driving, he's got the watch in the shot there. Very cool. And not to skip the whole movie, but at the end, though, they show him again with that watch.
Yeah, I thought for sure somebody's going to see him in that watch and say, hey, where'd you get that watch from?
Oh, yeah, no, it never happened there, yeah.
He kept it.
But the way they did show that watch in the beginning, what happened with the watch situation, and then wrap back up at the end by showing that watch again, I thought was pretty powerful. And then everything that happened in between those two scenes was, of course, quite magical.
Yeah, I like the part where he couldn't get an idea of how the photography thing and video thing worked. He kept slopping over all his work, getting in the way, and the cops had to tell him to get the hell out of here. And he was too eager, doing it too fast to figure out. If you keep a distance and do it real smooth and be nonchalant and be kind of a shadow behind everybody else, you can probably get more footage that you're looking for. Then jump out in front of everybody and call up the whole scene.
Although he was a fast learner before he knew it.
He was very fast learner, yeah.
Better than us making films and videos and stuff. I mean, just like that. No film school or anything. Just like that there. But, but to your point, though, absolutely, he was aggressive. And I guess that's part of his behavior and his personality, though, too, though. You know what I mean? That's kind of was him. At first, like you say, he just didn't know what he was doing, so he's tripping over people and in the way, and he's too close. But you do also see that that's a part of his character and his nature, though, is to just really be right up in people's faces, bold and very direct and forward. And so that was his style, really. And several times he would just address people in that kind of manner. I think the news director person, I mean, the demands he had on her was like amazing.
I only came out to dinner with you, Lou, purely as a professional courtesy.
Thank you. I don't think it's any secret that I've single-handedly raised the unit price of your ratings book.
Our ratings book price? Whoa.
I'm a very fast learner. We had a conversation where I specifically mentioned that. Do you remember that? Well, do you?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I think they had a little, love and hate going on there for a while.
Yeah. I guess you could describe it that way. I mean, I think that.
Yeah, I did describe it that way. It was a love and hate situation going on.
So you're threatening that if I don't...
I'm negotiating.
You're threatening to stop selling to me.
That's your choice. The true price of any item is what somebody's willing to pay for it. You want something, and I want you.
So fuck you.
And as a friend.
Jesus Christ, friends don't pressure friends to fucking sleep with them.
They loved each other for a short time.
But what was interesting, though, was the power struggle or the power dynamic, really. Was like, when he first came to the scene, he's just this lonely guy with this little raggedy camera and things, and he barely was able to let them, to get $250 from her. Like, he's trying to negotiate. Like, give me $300. She's like, the best I give you is $250 for this, blah, 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 And, so she had all the power and stuff, but, towards the end of the movie, and not even towards the end before that, really, all of a sudden, he had all the power. And he's like, 15 grand. And, he's like, this the man. Like, I want to meet all these people. I want to do this. I want this happen. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Like, really just bossing her around, really.
And I think she liked it.
Yeah, I think so, too. Yeah.
15,000 isn't all that I want. From here on, starting now, I want my work to be credited by the anchors and on a burn. The name of my company is Video Production News, a professional news gathering service. That's how it should be read, and that's how it should be said. I also want to go to the next rung and meet your team, and the station manager, and the director, and the anchors, and start developing my own personal relationships. I'd like to start meeting them this morning. You'll take me around, you'll introduce me as the owner and president of Video Production News, and remind them of some of my many other stories. I'm not done. I also want to stop our discussion over prices. This will save time. So when I say that a particular number is my lowest price, that's my lowest price, and you can be assured that I arrived at whatever that number is very carefully. Now, when I say that I want these things, I mean that I want them, and I don't want to have to ask again. And the last thing that I want, Nina, is for you to do the things that I ask you to do when we're alone together in your apartment. Not like the last time.
Yeah, especially because that part towards the end, where they're kind of like standing next to each other, like side by side, like he just borrowed that last final piece, the shootout type situation with the with the people that robbed the house. Yeah, so they got to shoot at the restaurant. When he brought her that piece, they're she said, "This is magic. It's wonderful." And they're like face to face, and she seemed like she just like really just
she was eating it up alive. She was eating it up.
But yeah, I think sometimes women like that, that kind of bossy kind of personality. That aggressive behavior, personality type.
If you're a woman who like to be bossed around, hey, God bless you.
Yeah,
no emails on that, please.
Yeah. I think for him though, he got carried away. He just took it too far for sure though.
He was an interesting character. Yeah,
beyond normal.
I like the part where he had a sidekick person with him, his intern, whatever, and he just used him like a red dog.
Well, he paid him. He
paid him eventually. He paid him eventually. But I thought he was a little too hard on the guy, personally, in my own opinion, as an individual. But I know it made a good movie, but I'm not criticizing anything about it. I'm just like, man, he's hard on that guy.
He was hard on him, but the thing that's so weird and interesting was like, the dude's a psychopath for sure, but the things he would say made sense though. Like what he was telling this guy was like actual real facts of employment and how you should behave in an employment situation and how you can get to the top and things and be a better employee and he was like saying real stuff.
Their jobs?
I don't know, like a week here, a week there.
Why hire you? Sell yourself.
Okay.
Go.
And that movie was made years ago, and it still applies to this day,
Absolutely. It was not that old, actually. Just a few years old.
Well, how long? 70, 80, 90...
It was like 2014 or something.
Yeah, like I said, that movie was made a couple years ago.
Unless you're in a time warp or something. Back to the Future.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was made a couple years ago. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
So you're still in the 70s.
Well, it looked like it was made back then.
They did kind of get that look, though.
I thought it was.
Absolutely, yeah. It was actually kind of based on, I don't know if I even could say it's based on, but there was this person that years ago, because this was something that was more common back in the day, this particular practice, kind of based on that person's story a little bit loosely. He was known to kind of rise to the top as somebody else, a Nightcrawler, they call him, that would go out and get that footage and sell it to the news stations. But
I don't know if they even still do that to this day. I don't know.
I don't think so, really.
Yeah, I think
honestly,
technology has took over since that time's happened.
I can't imagine so. So this is something a little older. But no, it was really cool. And I mean, this, like I said, this guy really rose to the top quick. You know, first he's driving this old beat up Toyota.
Yeah, I saw that. Then he got moved to a nice fancier hot rod car.
Like Challenger.
Then he got his own little van fleet going on there. His own crew, his own staff. Yeah. He's the empire of his own company. He's the vice president or president of his own company. And yeah, he had it going on for a while. If only life was that simple and easy.
Well, for him, I mean, if you act the way he acted, I guess it would be.
I guess it would be, yeah.
You have to admire him to an extent, I guess, you know. But I guess the worst part about it is that there might be people that really are like this, though. Like, maybe that's how they did get ahead, though.
Yeah, I met a few people like that.
You know, you see people at the top and you wonder, maybe that's exactly how their personality is, exactly like his, though.
That's how they got to where they're at, and that's why they're billionaires and you're not, including me.
Because technically, I mean, he had some good qualities about himself, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, hard worker, ambitious, go-getter, for sure. I mean...
Who am I? I'm a hard worker. I set high goals, and I've been told that I'm persistent.
He was willing to do what it takes to succeed.
I couldn't imagine who else would have played this part other than the character they got. You know, you look at movies and you wonder who else could have played this part other than who they got. It's like I always look back at the old Batman movie, the first one with Jack Nicholson. Who could ever play the Joker other than Jack Nicholson? I mean, I couldn't imagine nobody else playing that part.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, so when you look at movies like that, you think, who could have gotten to play? I mean, there's some movies that anybody could have played the part and be just as good.
Definitely.
You know, but these guys, whoever picked this guy to play this part in this film, did a really good job in casting him for it because he really was convincing. I was convinced he had a loose screw in his head.
Yeah,
he played the part, he had a loose screw in his head.
Yeah, the best actors can do
very
that.
Smart loose screw in his head.
Absolutely,
but yeah.
Graphic and viewer discretion is advised. Here's what we know. Last night.
I should have counted how many times he blinked, because in this movie he rarely ever blinks. That's like part of his thing he wanted to do for the movie.
Oh, really?
Not really blink.
You know, now that you mentioned that, I can actually see that. He always had wide eyes open.
And so I should actually count it, but I was too busy really focused on what was going on. But he probably blinked maybe 5 times through the whole movie. That'd be pretty astonishing if that was in fact, though. But yeah, that was his thing, was to make sure he didn't blink too many times there.
And I think it was you or somebody was telling me he actually went and followed some people around to get an idea how this works. The police department, or
I did. I think I read about that. Yeah, so maybe some other Nightcrawlers or something. People that do that. I'm sure. Yeah, a lot of actors, some of the best actors out, they do that. Of course, they want to really get in tune with that character, so they'll do whatever that character does. They'll do it. Absolutely.
Well, it was a good film. I thought it was a pretty decent film. It turned out really nice, and I hope to see more of this type of film. Maybe not a part 2 of this film, but more of this type of film.
That would be interesting, part 2, because he's got these 3 vans now. He's like a tycoon in the business. So to see where he went from that point. But you know, you're talking about the intern guy. Well, like I guess it was the intern, because he was getting first like $30 a night, and then it was funny because he told him
his contract ended too, I think, in this film.
Well, he told him he's gonna make him the vice president of the company. Well, and he's like, well, you know, how much you want? You know, just give me your number. And then the guy said $75 a night, and it was so funny because it was like he could have had like 2,000 a month, 5,000 a day, a night over there, 5,000 a night or whatever.
But I think his contract expired, and he was no longer available with the company no more.
Well, you can say that. Yeah, something expired there.
His contract was revoked, so he's no longer affiliated with this company no more. So I guess you have to watch the show to see how his contract was revoked. But
the lengths that he went through, though, to get to the top was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
he did some pretty drastic things. So that's why I say you can kind of admire him first a little bit. Sharp guy.
Yeah, he was smart to do the setup. I don't know if this is giving away anything, but he was smart to do the holding back information. I'm like, what are you holding back information for? But once I saw him, I realized, he's a smart man.
I mean, you can talk about it. We could just put up a spoiler alert or something to let people know that, you know.
He was smart for holding back some information from the police because he wanted to use this information for his own benefit to better himself and to better his footage that he was going to use in advance to later on in present it to the news station, if I explained that right. So in order to get around that, he knew who the people were who committed these crimes. He watched them follow them and called the police department and said, hey, I think I found the people you're looking for. But in the meanwhile, he was hiding off somewhere else, watching these guys with his camera, waiting for the cops to show up. Well, what better way to get the best footage of talent than being there first and seeing the whole thing unfolded? And of course, the bad guys didn't like the cops being there, and the cops see the bad guys didn't like the bad guys walking around, so all hell broke loose. And guess who was there to catch everything unfolded on camera? Yeah. None other than our good friend, the crazy lunatic guy. himself.
That's how you know he's a sociopath. Yeah, I mean, he knew people were gonna die at that point.
Yeah, he knew it.
But he didn't really care.
But he did a great job on setting this whole thing up. And that's what the whole film is basically about, setting up stuff that later on doesn't make any sense, but when it comes back, he wanted the best footage for the news, and so he can get better pay.
Do you remember how blunt he was with the guy that wanted to hire him? Like, so once he kind of started getting his business going a little bit, the other guy had the van also.
Oh, yeah, the other guy that worked for me.
Joe or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember how blunt he was?
That was pretty good.
But working for myself is more in line with my skills and career goals.
Take a few days to think about it.
No, you'll need to hire someone else, and I don't want to hold up the process.
You want to be on the inside of this, man, because I'm going to be tag teaming every call.
You keep talking like it's something that I may be interested in, but I'm not.
Work for you, you know?
He like seriously this dog to do so bad.
It was a smart movie. It was a very intelligent conversation between him and the other guy, and he was the Nightcrawler guy was actually saying stuff that I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I've been in positions like that, you know. I like how he said it and how he described it. And
he handled it very well.
Yeah, he handled it very well. And the guy who was getting irritated and getting mad and getting pissed wanted to pick a fight with him, and he came back and fired at him again.
And, even her, she said herself, like, man, where do you get the balls to?
Where did you get the balls to even suggest something like this?
Yeah, how did you
get him from deep down under?
Yeah. He had some big ones on there. The same things that he said, the actor that he acted in there. So.
It was a show well worth entertaining the audience when they go back and watch it. It's a show well worth watching. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, I'm sure it's on our Facebook page or something linked to it or whatever. But please, folks, get a chance, go check it out, watch it. It's one of those shows that you're just going to be happy you watched it. Thanks to Mr. Stephan J. Davis, who found it and pointed it out and brought it to our attention. He loved it. I never really heard too much about it until I watched it. Now I'm a big fan of the film.
I love the fact that he was more serious about creating art and getting that right frame than even I am, because there's this particular part where he arrived early before the police even got there to the scene, and there was a dead body there. There was a car accident.
Oh, yeah.
He drags the body
that's just
into
sloppy,
the right spot.
That's just sloppy handling, evidence there, right there.
Yeah, that's terrible to do that. Yeah, I wouldn't take it that far. I mean, I want the perfect shot too, but I'm not going to drag a dead
Folks,
body.
if you see a dead body on the street somewhere, please don't drag it across the street somewhere and try to make a better scene out of it for your camera. Don't drag dead bodies across the street.
That's extreme there. Yeah. I mean, now the shot was great at that point. Once he got it to that right frame there, it was a golden shot there. But we have to put that closure out to people, let them know that you can't disclaimer there,
disclaimer. You can't drag dead bodies across the street to get a better shot. As long as they know that.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No. If you do, make sure you wash your hands before and after. No.
Yeah.
But it was a scene that I thought was like, when I watched, I'm like, whoa, what is he doing? He's tampering with evidence here. He's just leaving a sloppy mess behind the cops, and apparently he didn't care. But and that's how I felt when I saw it. I'm like, what is he doing? Dragging a dead body?
Like
you can't do that.
He definitely didn't care.
He didn't care. He wanted his shot. And he made his money.
Throughout the whole film, that was kind of his thing. Like, he just...
setting up the prop. That's basically what that was. But I thought the film was pretty good. It was pretty decent. It was really nice. I'm glad that we had a chance to check it out.
Yeah. So he fired that employee and all that stuff. So, it was good. Highly recommend Nightcrawler for people out there that want to see a nice kind of a thriller, almost, you could say.
It is a thriller, twister, action-packed type of movie.
Yeah.
It was loaded with a lot of stuff. I like the car scenes stuff on there too. For a low budget, I can see a lot of money went into the car scenes chase. That was pretty decent. But the whole film was just good. I thought the film was just pretty good. Once again, we'll check that. We'll check out our we call this thing here Facebook information. We'll check our Facebook out and see if you got any footage you want to share with us. If you do, be sure to drop it off to our Facebook page so we can be happy. So we can. You go and finish the sentence because I'm getting tongue twisted.
Yes. So we'll take a step back and just say that if you're a filmmaker, you have a film to submit, please do so through facebook.com/indiefilmscreenings. And if you are just a film buff, you love indie films, and you have a film that you would like us to review that you thought was great, or maybe you didn't think it was great, you thought it was the worst thing you ever seen, and you want us to talk about it, also same thing, because the budget doesn't matter. If it's $20 million, I'm not sure what the highest budget. $20 million? No, I mean, it could still be an independent film possibly. I'm not sure what the highest budget independent film is, but that's a great trivia question though. because it can get kind of high. As long as it's not a major studio back end, it's still an independent film. So I do wonder. But whatever that film is, you know, if you saw it and whatever you thought, you want us to review it, talk about it on the show, drop a line to us and we'll be happy to do that.
Definitely will. You said it pretty well, as much as I would have said it. That's exactly what I would have said when I got my lines together. Apparently I didn't show up at rehearsal. He was there. But thanks again.
You're fired.
I've been fired by you so many times, it's not even funny.
As long as I don't do like Lou there, you know, Lou fires people in a whole new kind of way.
I got a contract, buddy. You can't fire me to my contract again.
But the way Lou fired on Nightcrawler, the way he fires people is you don't want to get fired the way he fires people.
No, he fires people the hard way. No, I don't want to get fired that way. As a matter of fact, I'm going to fire my agents for firing me, for finding this job for me. But thank you once again. We hope to see you guys again very soon, and we wish you all the best when it comes to filmmaking. And if you got something you want to send to us, please send it out to us. The information is right there on the screen. And then we'll hope to see you guys pretty soon.
I guess I think it's my turn around there.
No matter, turn, no turn. Who cares? Who turns it is?
Unless you want it, then it'd be my list.
Sure, why not? I don't care. Okay. All right. You're fired. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly.
That's a wrap.
Where's our director at? We've never seen the director. We never see the producers. We never see nobody crew, nobody walk on set. What's up with that?
What about that one guy that knocked the light down?
That guy knocked the camera and the lights and over.
Where did he go now? He just ran off?
He ran off. He knew he was going to get fired. That's right. That's
fired the hard way there. Fired like the way Lou fires you there. You
And can we get the titles, the words going up over us talking? Can we get the editor?
Credits?
The credits, yeah.
We don't really have any credits to put on.
I don't care.
That would be nice if we had actual credits to put on. You know, just say me and you.
He's dead. Get this shot. Steady hands. Use your zoom.